got to create our own definition of done on a team if the organization hasn't basically given us one to start with. So, what, from a product owner's perspective, what are some strategies for creating a definition of done?
If I'm the product owner, I care a lot about how this product is seen in the marketplace. I'm trying to make this product as valuable as possible. I'm trying to make it appeal to our customer base, various personas in our customer base. So when I think done, I think usable, right? Not necessarily does it have enough features that it's sellable. That's a different decision. That's a business conversation. But does does what we've implemented, is it high quality enough that I would want this to be put in front of my customers? So if there's anything that I would not even in theory release if it wasn't present, that's got to be in my definition of done. So for example, I used to work on products that required a user manual, not only because they were complex products, but just for regulatory reasons. You needed a user manual where a user could look up all the various ways to use it and any kind of warnings associated with how it be used as a medical product. Um, we could not consider an increment done unless the new features that were part of that increment were documented in the user manual because we couldn't release without it. So to me, if you as a product owner need your users to have certain quality measure, documentation, whatever it is to make it usable, it's got to be your definition of done.
I think product owners need to consider what matters to um, those that are participants to the product. I'm using my words carefully here because I hate the word stakeholders. It's just a giant bucket for all things. But if I'm going to use your product, you probably want to get my input as to what I'm expecting for levels of quality, and that could be how well does your product perform? Is it dependable? Can I keep using it when I want to use it, or is it on and off periodically? We get this sometimes from some of our associates. Like, some of the tools that we use are flaky. Like, wow, cool. How are you feeling about the doneness of that tool right now? If we got to know what customers are thinking, expecting, anticipating, assuming, and those are going to be quality standards that are defined. And the other piece to this for product owners is we got to start somewhere. Start with just like a baseline, but engage your developers to find out if those standards are even possible to maintain, because we're going to have consistency. Doneness really invokes the idea of consistency with these quality standards every single time anything is built. So strategy-wise, I think we lean into those two things. And might even just ask this question: is it possible your definition done could be looked at as an onboarding document for any future contributors to your product? Because if it's worth anything, it might. Just something to think about.
Done from a product owner's perspective, I mean, you got to be thinking about obviously maximizing value, but what is value and who is that value for? I'll pick on Tesla, for example. The first Teslas were basically sports cars. It was a Lotus with the gas engine ripped out and electric motor put into it, sold to rock stars and movie stars in California. That's a very specific, small, targeted set of people who have a lot of disposable income and don't need a daily driver that they're going to take into the mountains and cruise around in the snow with. So a rear wheel drive car with very little storage to haul dogs and kayaks and whatnot was going to be just fine. It's a
Sure.
toy car. But they used that money to fuel their next generation car, which was a very expensive luxury car, starting somewhere in the ballpark of $100,000 for the Model S.
Jeez.
But that was their first mass market car that could
Yep.
drive in snow, that could deal with winter, that was purpose built from the ground up. And understanding who your audience is going to shape what that car looks like. What features do we have to have? What quality standards do we have to have? And what would they be willing to accept? Obviously, Android users, they like configurability. You like the ability to get into a phone and really do anything you want to it for the most part. Apple users, they don't want that. They just want a microwave oven for a phone. And no offense, I am a Apple user. I don't want to program my phone.
Right.
Anyway, different users, different needs, different quality standards, different definitions of done.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. Did you like what you heard? If so, you're going to love our Scrum classes. See, not only do we talk about these ideas on YouTube, we're also professional Scrum trainers, and we'd love to have you in one of our classes. So if you need to level up as a Scrum Master or a product owner, maybe you need to learn how to scale Scrum or combine Kanban or UX with Scrum, click the link in our description and you'll find a list of our upcoming classes.
If you like this video, just leave us a comment. And if you got some positive feedback, we'd love to hear it. And if you've got some negative feedback, well, we'd love to hear that too.